Hi there, Andrea. Nice to see that you've written another set of essays. Let's see what you did here. I like this one. It's the tea flowchart. So let's see what you said. The diagram illustrates the way white tea, green tea, oolong tea, black tea, and scented tea are made. There are different processes for each kind of tea. However, they all share the same first step, which is the cleansing and sorting of fresh tea leaves. Okay, let's keep going. In order to obtain white tea, leaves are then steamed and subsequently dried. Okay? The production of green tea is more complex. After withering, careful with your spelling here, tea leaves are pan-fried. Finally, leaves are rolled and shaped or dried with the addition of jasmine flowers. After withering, you did it again, so careful. A different process made of shaking, roll in basket to bruise leaf edges, short fermentation, pan-frying, and finally drying leads to oolong tea. All right, let's fix this a little. So a different process consisting of shaking, shaking or rolling in a basket to bruise leaf edges. Okay, then that's fine. Alternatively, following withering, black tea is obtained by rolling the leaves into strips, gung fu style, or cutting, broken style. At this point, full fermentation follows. The process ends with drying by firing. Starting from green, black, or oolong tea, careful with your spelling, scented tea is obtained from an additional three-step with no S here, process composed of drying, scenting with flowers or fruits, and finally cooling. Okay, yeah, it's fine. Let me think about it for 1 second. Okay, you know what I would have liked here? Take a look at these three. Look, withering, withering, withering. So I would have liked you to perhaps say that for green, oolong, and black tea, they all share the next step after sorting and cleaning, which is withering. After that, their processes differ, and then you could have gone into green tea, then you could have gone into oolong, and then you could have gone into black. But since they share this step, I would have liked to see that rather than treating them as, totally separate. Because if you look, they all have withering, which, by the way, you consistently spelled wrong, so please be careful. Other than that, no problems. It was good. You had a variety of structures. That's pretty much it. You could have saved yourself some, I don't want to say repetition, but you just could have organized it a little better. Now, this might seem like a detail, and it is, but since we're aiming for the highest score possible, I feel obligated to tell you this. That's why I would have done it. Good job, though, overall. Let's take a look now at your task 2. Okay, so now we move on to your essay. Local governments are pushing companies to move from large cities to regional locations, benefits and drawbacks. Now, here the one thing to remember is that when it says benefits and drawbacks, that means that they don't want one of each, but they want more than one. So let's see if you did that here. Okay. Experts in microeconomics throughout the developed countries have debated whether delocalizing industries from cities to peripheral regions leads to better outcomes or not. That's where the or not should go. Some believe that the only way to maximize industrial productivity is through the localization model. Personally, I strongly disagree with this last statement. This essay will discuss both benefits and drawbacks of the delocalization model using examples from Oslo University and the California government to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, fine. On the one hand, there is some evidence, singular evidence is uncountable, so you can't put an S. There is some evidence that moving industries from cities to local locations could carry potential difficulties. The reason behind this is twofold and is related to efficiency and productivity. Firstly, companies built around big cities are surrounded by main infrastructures like high roads, major railways, and airports. I think you mean highways, no? Highways, major railways, and airports. On the contrary, peripheral regions are not served as well, which could eventually increase costs of transport, singular. Secondly, the localization model is more efficient as the whole productive process, which generally involves more companies, is completed around a central productive core, that is, comma. Here, the comma would have been important. The city. The viewpoint is echoed by a study from the California government, which shows that high-tech corporations not who, they're not people. So corporations which have concentrated their entire business to the Silicon Valley. Well, have concentrated their entire business in Silicon Valley, have increased their productivity by 35% on average. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that moving companies to regional locations could potentially decrease the efficiency of the productive process. Lovely. On the other hand, although increasing efficiency is one of the principal targets, especially for big industries, the major benefits related to the delocalization model cannot be overstated. This is largely because transferring companies to peripheral regions increases the economical power of local communities through the creation of new jobs. You didn't need a comma here, okay? On top of that, more and more local governments are promoting tax incentives for encouraging industries to delocalize their core business, which eventually represents a significant economic benefit for private companies. Consistent with this line of thinking, a recent study from Asa University published in 2015 showed that moving industries to regional locations is directly related to an increase of 6% in purchasing power of local communities. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that delocalizing companies is determinant in order to sustain the vitality of peripheral regions. Wow, okay. All right, let's look at your conclusion. So to conclude, from the examples and arguments given, I firmly believe that moving companies from large cities to regional locations carries more advantages as it eventually promotes the growth of local communities. In the future, regional governments should enact financial laws and specific tax advantages in order to attract even more industries. Okay, so I looked through your essay one more time, and I'm actually really very pleased with it. It's very good. You clearly knew what you were talking about. It sounds like this was a topic that was very familiar to you, and you had a lot of information about it. And this is one of those instances where having some knowledge about the topic definitely is helpful. It's well organized. You use a lot of great vocabulary, a lot of great grammar. Are there some little tiny problems? Yeah, a few little tiny problems, but nothing too serious. Let's see. It's very good. No, it is. It's very good. I was a little concerned that maybe you had too many of these linking devices. Check this out. You have on the one hand, firstly, secondly, therefore, but it's fine. It's fine. What you don't want to do is you don't want to have too many of those in an essay, because then you continue and you have more on this one. So you have on the other hand, on top of that, thus, it's fine. It wasn't too much. Like I said, you don't want one of those, linking word, comma in every sentence. That's a problem. But the good news is that you did have a number of other cohesive devices that make this not really problematic. Okay, so Andrea, really good job with this. I don't know how long this set of essays took you. That is some information I'd be interested to know, because you actually developed both of them quite extensively. I didn't do a word count, but like I said, this does feel really well developed. So I just want to make sure that you are in fact staying under an hour. All right, that's very important. But other than that, great. I mean, it's a really good job. So what you need to do, of course, is correct them, add to your error correction list, and send your next set of essays. Okay, I'm looking forward to it. Your writing is really good, so I'm very pleased. Good luck, and I'll be waiting to see your next set.